Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sister Wives star Janelle Brown deserves better than to be subjected to social media criticism. She was in an unhappy relationship with her sister wives, Robyn, Christine, and Meri Brown, as well as her ex-husband, Kody Brown, for about 30 years. As one of the family's matriarchs, Janelle carried out her duties and did her best to nurture her 6 children. But she noticed a big difference in Kody during the COVID-19 pandemic, and she no longer felt the same respect and love from him as she had before. Christine Brown jumped right back into the dating pool after splitting from Kody, and she ultimately met David Willey, who turned out to be her ideal match. Shortly after meeting on a dating app, the pair fell in love and became engaged. Christine and David were married in October 2023. Christine chose to investigate a physical connection with David prior to exchanging vows because she believed that closeness was crucial in a relationship before marriage. Fortunately, their physical and emotional compatibility was flawless. Janelle, however, has not yet returned to the dating scene. Regrettably, critics often pull her back into that toxic atmosphere in spite of her best attempts to keep her distance from drama. Janelle has been forced to respond to claims that have recently surfaced regarding her sexual orientation. She reassured viewers on Sister Wives Season 19 Tell All by declaring, via TLC, "I promise you, I'm not asexual. I swear to you." According to Janelle, she is unquestionably a very sexual being, a very earthed mama. Her hesitation to have assembly line kisses with Kody does not imply that she is asexual, she explained. As Janelle continues to grieve and makes an effort to separate herself from negativity, it is regrettable that she must cope with these unfounded suspicions regarding her sexual orientation. Janelle started a new chapter in North Carolina after splitting from Kody in 2022, searching for a fresh sense of direction. She tragically lost her adult son, Garrison Brown, in March 2024, and it has had a profound impact on her. It makes perfect sense for Janelle to take her time dating. She is allowing herself time to grieve and recover. Janelle deserves the time to thoroughly think through her next course of action because she is a very independent lady who is aware of her own desires. It's important for her to decide at her own speed whether she wants to pursue polygamy once more or stick to monogamous partnerships like Christine and David and Kody and Robyn. Janelle has little time for romance or dating at the present because her priorities are expanding her business and spending quality time with her kids. After splitting from Kody, Janelle seemed to have faced more difficulties than the other 3 sister wives. In addition to her personal tragedy and financial difficulties, she has dealt with additional issues that have affected her mental health. Janelle has only lately found balance in her life, in contrast to her fellow sister wives. She has started her business, Tata Farms, enhanced her lifestyle, and broadened her social circle. In addition, she has gained self-confidence and set new objectives for 2025, including ending an unsatisfying partnership that lasted 3 decades. Since Janelle is actively trying to improve her life, she ought to be allowed to take the time she requires to feel prepared to resume dating. She doesn't need to find love again, and that's totally fine. In order to demonstrate her sexual orientation, Janelle shouldn't feel compelled to give someone a chance. She shouldn't need a man to make her happy. She should be allowed to live her life as she sees fit. After 30 years with Kody, Janelle has learned that true pleasure is not found in romantic relationships, but rather in self-empowerment and self-healing. Over the course of the 19 seasons of Sister Wives, fans witnessed Kody abandoning his first 3 wives while showing preference for Robyn and her 5 children. Even though Kody and Janelle had a friendly relationship and a strong physical connection at first, things soured in 2020. When Janelle's domineering and self-centered husband pushed her to move out of their shared house with their sons, Gabe and Garrison Brown, she finally lost it. It was painful for Sister Wives watchers to see Janelle, who is known for her independence, feel controlled and suppressed by Kody. Fans of Janelle, who is currently unmarried, are hoping she will find the same type of unwavering love that Christine has found with David. It is their hope that Janelle will soon resume dating and, like Christine, meet the one. After they break up with Kody, Fans of the original Sister Wives want them to be happy and independent. Even when admirers have good intentions, Janelle has the final say over whether and when she wants to resume dating. She might utilize the help of Sister Wives fans as she concentrates on her fitness and business objectives in the interim. In a world where reality stars are expected to share everything, from their diets and dating lives to their deepest wounds, Sister Wives Janelle Brown has often been the calm in the storm, the one wife who balanced emotional chaos with a level head and a practical approach to life. But recently, an unsettling trend has emerged within the fandom. Fans are demanding answers from Janelle about something deeply personal, unfairly placing the burden on her shoulders to explain a choice that never needed justifying. The subject? Her decision to stay with Kody Brown as long as she did. It's the question that keeps popping up in comment sections, fan forums, and post-episode discussions. Why did Janelle stick around for so long if she was clearly unhappy? On the surface, the question might seem innocent, even curious, but to those who truly understand Janelle's journey, it's clear that she's being unfairly interrogated for having the kind of patience and grace that should be admired, not questioned. And now, as this relentless curiosity continues to follow her, Janelle is being forced to defend her past in a way that's not only emotionally taxing, but deeply unjust, because if anyone on Sister Wives has earned the right to evolve without being shamed for her former choices, it's Janelle Brown. For years, fans applauded Janelle for her calm demeanor, her financial wisdom, and her grounded nature amidst the whirlwind of Kody's emotional inconsistencies and Robyn's increasing influence. She was the wife who didn't get caught up in petty spats, who focused on raising her children, managing the family's finances, and building a sustainable life. But when Christine finally left, and when Meri's departure followed, eyes turned to Janelle with one burning, often accusatory question. Why didn't she leave sooner? That question, whether whispered in Reddit threads or boldly posted under her Instagram photos, reveals more about the public's misunderstanding of healing than it does about Janelle herself. Because for Janelle, staying wasn't about being weak. It wasn't about settling. It was about hope, about commitment to a spiritual covenant, a belief in family above ego, and an effort to give her children the kind of stability she never had. And now, she's being vilified for it? In a recent live stream with fans, Janelle finally addressed the question, gracefully, but with a tinge of frustration that could only come from someone who's been pushed to relive her pain over and over again. She explained that polygamy wasn't just a lifestyle choice for her, it was a spiritual path she felt called to. I didn't marry Kody because it was easy, she said. I married him because I believed in what we were building. And I stayed because I believed it could be repaired. Her voice cracked when she talked about the years she spent hoping things would shift, the compromises she made for the sake of unity, and the way she kept showing up, even when her own needs were pushed to the side. That raw honesty, so rare and so vulnerable, should have ended the debate. But instead, some fans doubled down, accusing her of enabling Kody, of giving Robyn too much power, of being naive. It was a shocking twist from a fanbase that once celebrated her as the strong, no-nonsense wife, and now, it's Janelle who's left to clean up the emotional mess while others rewrite her story with unfair judgment. And yet, Janelle isn't angry.
She's hurt, yes.
Tired, definitely. But not bitter. We all make decisions we outgrow, she said in a recent podcast appearance. That doesn't mean those decisions were wrong. It just means we're not the same person anymore. That level of self-awareness is rare, even among the most evolved public figures, and yet Janelle is being dragged for not waking up sooner, not seeing Kody's manipulation sooner, not choosing herself sooner. But here's the truth. Janelle was choosing herself the entire time, in the only way she knew how. She was choosing her version of peace. She was choosing her children. She was choosing the vision of plural family she once believed in. And when that vision became unbearable, when it became clear that Kody no longer valued her or saw her as an equal, she walked. On her own terms. With dignity. And still, somehow, fans are demanding she explain why she didn't do it sooner, as if leaving isn't hard enough. What these critics fail to realize is that trauma doesn't come with a clock. Healing doesn't have a deadline. When you're inside a toxic dynamic, especially one steeped in spiritual pressure, public scrutiny, and deeply intertwined family systems, untangling yourself is never as simple as walking out the door. Janelle didn't stay because she was weak. She stayed because she had hope. And then, when hope faded, she found clarity, courage, and action. That's a story worth respecting. That's a timeline that deserves admiration, not interrogation. And yet, every time someone asks, "Why didn't you leave sooner?" it sends a subtle but harmful message. Your survival wasn't fast enough for us. Your healing wasn't dramatic enough. Your pain wasn't loud enough. It's a cruel standard that we would never impose on someone we love in real life. So why are we forcing it onto Janelle? The truth is, Janelle Brown deserves better. Better than backhanded compliments. Better than Monday morning quarterbacking of her most intimate life decisions. Better than being made to feel guilty for not putting herself first when her world was already complicated beyond belief. She's been through the collapse of a family structure she believed in for decades. She's endured public humiliation. She's grieved the loss of her son. And through it all, she's held her head high, remained emotionally honest, and shown fans what true resilience looks like. She shouldn't have to defend herself to the very people who once rooted for her to rise. So, here's the message fans should be sending. Thank you, Janelle. Thank you for showing us that leaving can be quiet. That strength doesn't always roar. It sometimes whispers, then packs a bag. Thank you for showing us that you can love someone deeply and still choose to walk away. Thank you for giving us permission to outgrow our beliefs, our relationships, and the selves we once were. And most of all, thank you for continuing to show up for your truth, even when it's hard, even when it's messy, even when people demand more from you than they ever gave themselves. Janelle Brown owes no one an explanation for her past. Her journey is not a public puzzle to be picked apart. It's a story of spiritual awakening, emotional endurance, and powerful reinvention. And if some fans can't see that, then maybe it's time they stop watching and start listening, because the woman they're questioning has already answered. She did it by surviving. She did it by leaving. She did it by becoming herself, fully and unapologetically. And that, more than any explanation, is what truly deserves our applause. What fans so often forget in their quest for answers is that Janelle didn't grow up dreaming of being a reality star or living a life under a microscope. She signed up for a plural marriage, not public dissection. Her decision to join Kody and the Brown family was deeply spiritual, rooted in her religious values and the sincere belief that polygamy could work when grounded in respect and faith. And for years, she made it work. She worked full-time, paid the bills, held down the emotional fort, and raised her kids with compassion and wisdom. She endured being the wife who wasn't romantic enough, the one Kody admitted he didn't have a passionate connection with, yet she stayed because of the structure they were trying to build. She gave decades of her life to a system that was never built to prioritize her, and she did it with grace. Now, as she reclaims her space as an independent woman, she deserves nothing but admiration. Instead, she's getting grilled, forced to explain why she didn't run sooner, as if healing has a stopwatch. There's something deeply gendered in how fans, even well-meaning ones, have turned their questions into low-key accusations. Would a man in Janelle's position be asked to justify staying for his children, his values, his spiritual integrity? Probably not. But because Janelle is a woman and a strong one, no less, there's an expectation that she should have known better, done better, sooner. It's a cruel irony that the very strength that kept her anchored is now being used against her. The truth is, Janelle knew exactly what she was doing. She wasn't clinging to a fantasy. She was honoring her vows, her children, and her deeply personal belief system until she realized it no longer served her. That awakening wasn't a failure, it was a triumph. And instead of being pressured to relive her past and justify her pain, she should be celebrated for having the courage to walk away after years of being emotionally sidelined. Even more infuriating is that Kody himself has faced far less scrutiny for his blatant favoritism, cruel remarks, and constant deflection of responsibility. He's the one who openly admitted to not loving Janelle that way. He's the one who abandoned emotional connection in favor of control. He's the one who blamed her for the cracks in their marriage, and yet it's Janelle who is being asked to explain why she stayed? The hypocrisy is staggering. While Kody continues to avoid accountability and shield Robyn from any real consequences, Janelle is the one held to the fire, because she's the one who stayed calm. She didn't cry on camera. She didn't explode. She didn't weaponize the show. And because of that, people mistake her quiet strength for consent. But silence is not agreement. It's survival. And let's not forget, Janelle didn't just walk away. She leveled up. She invested in herself. She leaned on Christine. She reconnected with her kids in a more authentic, open way. She started showing up on social media with a new glow, a bolder style, and messages that resonated with women everywhere who've quietly outgrown the cages they built for themselves. She spoke candidly about grief, about aging, about feeling invisible, and through that honesty, she became a voice for countless others navigating their own quiet storms. She didn't shame Kody. She didn't bash Robyn. She simply told the truth. And that truth, as soft-spoken as it may be, is powerful. Her recent interviews, photos, and posts reveal a woman who has shed her old skin. She hikes. She travels. She reads. She shows off her makeup-free face and talks about detoxing, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. And in doing so, she has inspired a movement among fans who no longer want drama, they want dignity. Janelle has come to represent something bigger than reality TV. She represents the second act, the quiet reclamation of self after years of emotional erasure. So why, then, are we still demanding that she answer for her loyalty? Why are we interrogating her choices instead of learning from them? What Janelle's story teaches us is that there is no timeline for awakening, no rulebook for healing, no one-size-fits-all path to empowerment. Some people wake up after one betrayal. Others need a dozen. And neither path is better or braver. The real bravery is in facing the truth when it finally becomes undeniable, and that's exactly what Janelle did. She looked at her life, her marriage, her faith, and her worth, and she chose to begin again. That choice should be met with support, not skepticism. And yet, here we are, watching a woman who sacrificed so much being asked to explain why she didn't save herself sooner. But Janelle isn't playing the game. She's not begging for validation. She's not issuing dramatic tell-alls or revenge posts. She's simply living. And in doing so, she's rewriting what it means to be a former sister wife, not a victim, not a villain, but a woman who dared to believe in something bigger than herself, and who dared to walk away when that belief no longer served her. That's a legacy worth honoring. That's a life worth respecting.